This at the beginning of the year. Oh yes, we remember it well, don't we? A little like a scene from that 1953 epic From Here to Eternity. You know, the one with Burt Lancaster and Deborah Kerr. There, of course, is Meghan literally running up and down and writing in the sand saying 2025, here I am. That seems like an eternity ago, doesn't it? But this was to herald the start of course, Meghan's big return. Yes, the world had been waiting ever since she actually mentioned it in that interview to The Cut. That big return back, of course, to the world of social media. What she didn't say, though, was she wasn't alone. As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you, chums. Thank you so much for joining me today on a beautiful sunny day here in London town. Apparently going to be the hottest of the year so far. We're only in March, but you know, they're already measuring it, you know what I mean? Can I just also point out the grass behind me has just recently been cut. Yeah, and you know, the smell of fresh grass, it's lovely, isn't it? Does anybody remember, and this is a fact because I know it happened, but do you remember the Gap stores in the 90s? They actually put out a fragrance, right, called Grass. I bought it. You imagine that now with all my problems and hay fever. I know I'll be sneezing all day. I loved it though at the time. It just smelt so summery and stuff like that. And I thought, wow, this is a lovely fragrance. Yes, you wouldn't get that now. This is the thing. The 90s seems a long time ago, doesn't it? I was very young. Yes, this is what you have to tell yourself. It's a little bit like this particular story with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. I mean, you know, you would think there were two sort of adolescent teenagers having a go at Instagram, TikTok and everything else for the very first time. Meghan running around in the beach writing 2025 and giggling like some schoolgirl with the tresses blown in the wind. But what's interesting about this particular story is cast your mind back, right? Because when Prince Harry was talking, I think it was in December, to the New York Times, and basically the presenter said, oh, you know, can I get you on Google Hangout? That all sounds like a medical problem, doesn't it? But there you go. Or indeed, are you on any level of social media? And Harry basically said no. He wasn't on anything, he didn't really, and that really would have been catastrophic to coin a phrase, wouldn't it? Because let's not forget, this is the couple that said social media was toxic and embarrassing, but then when you've got to sell something, your children and everything can go on social media. Right, Meghan? Well, as ever, Harry's not exactly telling the truth. I have this from an excellent source, a former staff member, that Harry is literally as much addicted to social media as is his wife. Now, you might say, oh yes, but look, let's be honest, Harry can never really tell the truth. If you remember, he said that his paramour, the first girlfriend, was an older woman. Turns out she was a couple of years older, like 2 years older. And then, of course, he couldn't remember whether he killed the Taliban or not and all that sort of stuff, flicking people off chessboards because he was selling books. You see, literally a known liar. And as we know with the visa, another problematic thing. What was fascinating, though, is, you see, he literally scours the social media looking, according to this source, at, you know, his former life, things that his family are up to, his brother, William, and events, that sort of stuff. Everything's discussed, apparently in great detail, you know, whether it went well, the hugs, the interaction, that sort of stuff. Get this though, Harry, after his, shall we say, loose win with the visa application thing that's still ongoing, well, as I say, obviously it's not under his name, but he's very active, and if you find it, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Apparently he wanted to put a picture with bubbles going win-win, as ever we have to say allegedly, with the soundtrack of this. Remember this man? Patrick Juvet, I Love America, a big hit. And this was into the sort of kickback, slapback, whatever you want to call it, to, of course, the people that are still trying to get that visa application unveiled. Basically, they said that he doesn't like America, and this was going to be his idea. Apparently, at the 11th hour, he was persuaded against it. Wise move? Absolutely. But Prince Harry, to say you're not on social media, truly, is that another untruth or simply your truth? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.